Hi, everyone. Good to be with you today for our last devotional of our Advent series. Today, we're going to be in the theme of peace. So, as you know already, our Advent, there's particular themes, four themes of hope, of love, joy, and of peace. And today, we're going to be talking about peace. So, Advent is about celebrating the arrival of Jesus in the world, the long anticipated, expected arrival of Jesus in the world. And for us, we also look forward to the second coming of Christ as well. So, there's almost a double arrival that we celebrate and one that we look forward to. And today, we're going to be talking about peace. If you read the story of Jesus' birth, one of the things that the angel and the heavenly hosts say is glory to God in the highest heaven and peace on earth. Or on earth, peace to those on whom his favor rests. Peace on earth. In Isaiah, the prophecy, it says, "For to us a child is born, to us a son is given, and the government will be on his shoulders. He will be called Wonderful Counselor, Mighty God, Everlasting Father, Prince of Peace." And so peace is a theme of what was expected with Jesus coming. Now, it's a hard thing to talk about peace because we live in a world that really lacks a lot of peace. When we look around, especially at this year, what you and I both know is that it has been a year of turmoil, of tension, of political tension, racial issues, COVID, and a whole many other things that we could talk about. So it feels like, how can we talk about peace? How can we have peace in a year like this? How can we have peace at any moment that we're alive? It feels like such a hard thing to grasp, peace. When the Bible talks about peace, the Hebrew word for it is shalom. And, oftentimes when I think of peace, I think about the absence of conflict, and that's one way to think about peace, but it's not the full picture of peace that the Gospels talk about or even the scriptures talk about. Because in the scriptures, peace isn't just about the absence of something, but about the presence of something. And for our faith, it's about not just the absence of those things, but the presence of God with us, Emmanuel, Jesus. And so it's about the presence of Jesus in our world. The promise of peace is not about the absence of something, but about the presence of Christ with us. It changes everything because it means that we are people who can be non-anxious in a world that is troubled because we have the presence of Christ with us. That we have the presence of Jesus with us, and because of that, our security, our trust, everything is in Jesus. And so we can be people of peace, and we are called to be people of peace because we are so deeply abiding in Jesus. Peace is also about restoration. In the scriptures, sometimes we just think as long as there's that absence of conflict, people don't bring up their troubles, then there's peace. But actually, that's not true. It's not just about silence. It's not about silence, actually. It's not about that at all. It's the fact that God is calling us to be people who restore. Peace is about true restoration, about things becoming what they were meant to be, about being whole. And so peace is about the presence of God with us. And peace is also about restoration, about things being made right in this world as they were meant to be. So both about the presence of God with us, and also that because the presence of God is with us, that we are called to be restorers of peace in this world. So we are people of peace because of God's presence, and we're people of peace because of what he has done, that we are now called to be peacemakers in the world. Jesus says, "Peace I leave with you, my peace I give you. I do not give to you as the world gives. Do not let your hearts be troubled, and do not be afraid." And so my question to leave with you today is, how are you experiencing God's peace? How are you called to rest in his peace today, in his promises, in his presence with you, and to be a non-anxious presence in this world, to be a person of peace? And secondly, especially as we think about Christmas and the holidays, sometimes that can bring up all sorts of relational issues for us with people that we love. How are we called to be peacemakers? Not just the absence of conflict, but how are we called to be peace restorers in our world, true restoration? So as you reflect today, how are you experiencing God's peace, or how do you need to experience God's peace in prayer? And how are you called to be a peacemaker in the places of influence that you're in? Thanks, friends, for tuning in, and we hope to see you on Christmas Eve and on the following Sunday. See you then.